If you want to know how to price your print-on-demand items in your Etsy shop, but just don't know where to start, then keep on watching because in this video, I'm going to be breaking down pricing strategies and ways to price your items that are easy using tools. If you're not a math person, neither am I. Do not let that be a reason to stop you from growing your business or even starting your business. I know in the beginning, I was really afraid of pricing my items incorrectly or worried that I wouldn't know how to do the math, but don't worry, in this video, I'm going to show you some really easy ways on how to do this. If you're new around here, my name is Ariel and I talk everything print on demand and Etsy and how to grow your business. If you're brand new and don't know where to start, I'm actually going to link my mentor Cassiy Johnson's website, and on her website there is a free mini course, so you don't have to pay, and this walks you through the exact steps to opening your shop. And once you open your shop, I have tutorials that I will link that will also help you start your very first listing. So go ahead and watch that next if you need help with the listing process. But in this video, I'm going to be just talking about everything pricing. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so what I like to do first when I'm pricing my items is I like to come over to Etsy and just do a quick search of what my competition is pricing their items at. So what you want to do is type in the search bar whatever your product is and do a quick search. So for me, today I'm going to be doing the Comfort Colors shirt because that's one of the items that I sell in my shop. And then I'm also going to click on Star Seller so that I'm looking through some of the top listings, the popular nows and the best sellers. You can also go to the URL and you can change the word star to best so that it will only populate people who have best sellers, and that is your competition. Those are the people who are making all the sales and you want to compare your prices to. I'm also going to come over here to show filters, and I'm going to go ahead and click on item format. So you'll see a drop down here, and then you want to click physical items only because, like me, I search for things to buy on Etsy, like PNG files to help in my designs, and sometimes it'll pop up with shirts that are either mock-ups or PNGs, and you want someone who is selling a actual t-shirt for like a regular t-shirt price. So you want to make sure it's physical items only and it's not like digital downloads or mock-ups. Alright, so then we're just going to do a really quick example, and you're going to find one. This one looks like it's popular now. I'm going to click on it, and there's 20 plus in the carts, and what you're going to do is basically I add it to my cart. So I just click the size. I usually do like extra large because that's most of the time what people price all their items around. Because if you click on the small, sometimes they will have a loss leader, which I will go over later in this video what a loss leader is. But I'm going to go ahead and click on the extra large. I'm going to just click any color, and then I'm going to add to cart. Then you're going to want to click proceed to checkout. Now you're going to want to be signed into an Etsy account for this to be able to see all the information, but this is going to be really important to be able to see if they are running a sale in their shop, if they are charging for shipping, or if they're doing free shipping. And what I like to do is just take some notes and see what some of the top sellers are doing. So this person is running a 50% sale in their shop. They had their item priced at $44, but they're running a 50% off sale, and then they also charge for shipping, which is $5.99. So if you look down at the breakdowns here, it's going to cost the customer about $29 or $30 all said and done. Okay, so going back to the search results here, I wanted to quickly go over what a loss leader is. So basically a loss leader is when you see a price in the search results that is much lower than what you're actually going to be charged for the item. So scrolling down here, there's a few examples. Like this one says it's $9, but there's no way that a shirt is only $9. It costs us more to make it than $9, and there's just no way. Same with this one, $6.48, $9, $4.99. That's super cheap. There's no way your shirt is only going to cost $4.99. So you're going to click on one of these to see what I'm talking about. One thing I also wanted to mention is when you're clicking on someone else's listing, make sure that you don't click on one that says add by Etsy seller, just because that is rude and you're going to cost them money just to click on their listing. So you wouldn't want anyone doing that to you. So it's just common courtesy among sellers. But you would see it like right here, it would say add by blah, blah, blah. If it doesn't say add, then you're okay to click on it. This one doesn't say add, this one doesn't say add. I'm gonna go ahead and click on this one to show you what I'm talking about for the loss leader. So right now it's telling us that it's $6.49 for this item. Now, if we click the size here, when you click on any of the shirts, it's gonna be $17, $18, $23. Basically, $17 looks like the lowest price that they have, but right here, this is where they get you. They are putting a back print. So it's going to cost, I'm guessing, an extra $6.48 to print on the back of the shirt. And so whenever you put something like this in your listing, it's going to show up as the main price that people see when they're looking through the search results. So a lot of examples are your extra small shirt, you can price at break-even price to where it looks lower than the rest of the shirts. You can add another item like a back print, or you can even add kids clothing to make it look cheaper in the search results. Whatever you're doing to add something that's cheaper to your listing is going to be called a loss leader. There's a lot of controversy when it comes to loss leaders. I know some sellers, they just won't do it at all because they think it is unfair and you're deceiving the customer, which is true, you are deceiving the customer in a way, but I always go back to the market research, and if all of my competition or the majority of my competition are adding loss leaders to their listings and they're making really good sales and they are best sellers, then I am going to do the same. I personally do offer a loss leader in my listings. I don't make it super extreme, but I do price my lowest priced item at break-even pricing so that it does look a little more enticing for the customer to want to buy. I wanted to mention really quick while we're on this page why I have this on my screen and you may not be seeing it on your screen when you're doing your market research. This is because I have Everbee. It is a paid tool that I pay a monthly subscription for, but it helps me do a lot of my market research, and it tells you things like how many monthly sales that the person has on this item, their total sales, the views, the conversion rate, how old the listing is, and much more. It also shows you their tags, so you can pull from people's tags if you need to create your own tags. This is a whole nother topic, but I do recommend Everbee. I think it's a really good tool. It's about $30 a month, and it has been well worth it for me. You don't need a paid tool, but I think that it can be super helpful in your business. Okay, now that we've gone over the market research for pricing, I want to go over a quick list of things that you want to be noting when doing your own research for pricing. So, number one, what is the seller truly pricing their item at? We went over putting their item in your cart so that it has a full breakdown of what they are actually charging. Number two, do they charge for shipping or do they offer free shipping? 3, are they running a sale in their shop? And 4, do they have a loss leader? When doing your market research, these 4 things are really important to consider because you want to implement them in your own shop based on your competition. Okay, now that we've done our market research, we can go ahead and price our item in Printify. I like to price my item in Printify just because the pricing will be able to carry over, and what you can do in Printify is there is a duplicate button where you can duplicate your listing and it'll have all your pricing already there for you, making it a lot faster each time you list something. But we're going to go ahead and use the example of this Mary Mama shirt that I did in my last video. If you haven't seen that, it breaks down the full listing process and how to create a design and list it. I'll go ahead and link that video for you to watch next. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and go down to the pricing section. And as you see, Printify has everything priced out for you. but we want to run a sale in our shop. So we're gonna change these pricing according to our research. Okay, so I am using eRank today, and I'm using the free version. So if you're brand new and you don't want to pay for any tools yet, you can use the free version to calculate your pricing. So I went over to eRank, and I'm gonna actually come over here to tools, and then I'm gonna click on calculators, and that's where I got to this page right here. And you're basically going to just put in all of the calculations and it'll calculate it for you. So you don't have to be good at math at all. Okay, so based on my personal research, it looked like the average for a Comfort Colors shirt is around $30 out the door. So what I'm going to do here for the price, I'm going to go ahead and just start by trying $30. And I'm also going to charge for shipping just because I did see more sellers actually charging for shipping, but there were some people that were doing free shipping that were also doing really well. So base it on your research and what you think is best for your shop. But today we're going to put in $30, $5.99 for shipping, and we're going to do a shop discount. I'm going to go ahead and go with 25% off. But from my research, there were lots of different shop discounts that were doing well, ranging from about the 25% off all the way up to like 60% off. So we're just going to try the 25 just because I saw some shops doing really well with that. Then this is where you're going to come over to Printify, and you're going to put in the costs that it costs you to pay Printify to create and ship your shirt for you. So for shirts, it looks like sizes small all the way through extra large are going to cost us the same. It's going to be $10.72. And then from 2XL all the way to 4XL, it's going to be a little bit more. So what I like to do is charge all the same all the way up to extra large, and then I recalculate for these ones just to make sure I'm not losing money. But let me show you how we're going to do this. It costs us $10.72 for the production cost, and then it's also going to cost us $4.75 for shipping. So we're going to go ahead and put that over in our profit calculator. So for our labor costs, we're going to go ahead and put in $10.72 because that was our production cost on Printify. 10. And then our shipping cost was $4.75 in Printify. I'm going to assume that we're not running any ads, and then we're going to just go ahead and click calculate. Now over here, it'll say the estimated profit. So you're going to, this is what the customer is going to pay out the door, which is $28.49. And that is around the average that I was seeing that people were charging for Comfort Colors. So I'm happy with this price. And the total cost for us is going to be $15.50. That would be the Printify shipping and production, and then the total fees from any listing and Etsy fees are calculated in here. And then at the end of the day, our estimated profit is going to be $9.84, which is a really healthy profit margin. And it even tells you the profit margin here is 35%. Now, if you're a new seller, you can definitely price much lower than this. This is pretty competitive for the bigger shops that already have best sellers, and they probably raise their prices to make this type of healthy profit, but you can definitely go in here and change your price to lower. So let's say we want to only charge $25 and see if we're still going to make some profit. We can go ahead and do that and then just recalculate it, and it looks like we're still going to make a really healthy profit of $6.44 even at $25 pricing it. So we could even do closer to break even if we wanted to, which would be $20, and we would still make $3 basically. So you really can play around with the pricing. I do recommend if you're new, maybe try pricing it a little bit lower just to stand out in the market. But if you are someone who's been selling for a while and you just wanted to adjust your prices, you can definitely charge more for your items as long as it's competitive, and I think a 30% profit margin is really healthy. I hope you learned a lot in this video and you don't feel as intimidated when it comes to pricing, and you feel confident to price your items to get your listings up in your shop and make some sales. One thing I want you to remember is you can watch videos like this all day, but if you don't take action on them, then you are not going to see any results in your shop. So I encourage you after this video to go and price your items in your shop, do some price changing, or just start a listing and price your items. Something I remind myself of every day is, am I taking money-making actions? So what I mean by this is, am I doing actions that actually are going to bring me income? So watching videos like this is great, but if you don't actually take action on it and list a listing, then you are not going to make money. So just try to do things every day that make you money, which is usually listing every day if you can, and getting new things out in your shop. Lastly, it's time for our weekly wins. My weekly win this week is I got brand new ornament listings out in my shop for Q4, and I'm really excited because I've already seen some sales from my ornament listings last year. People are already shopping for the holidays, and this is the time to really put in the work in your business to make the sales that you want this Q4. So if you haven't put ornaments in your shop yet, I highly recommend this product because it just sells so well during Q4. I wish you all the best in Q4 and in your shops. And if anyone hasn't told you this lately, you're doing great, you're doing everything that you can, and you're going to be successful. Remind yourself that, believe in yourself, and you will get there. I really want you to celebrate your wins, whether they're big or small. So go ahead and drop them in the comments. I love seeing people's wins. I love seeing where you're at in your businesses. And I can't wait to talk to you down in the comments. All right, bye everyone.